Ladies and gentlemen, 2026 is here, and I want you to feel this with me. This year is not just another number on the calendar. This is your moment. It's time to reset, restart, and refocus. You hear me. Reset, restart, and refocus. Because what got you here won't get you there. And some of you are still holding on to habits, excuses, and doubts that are keeping you from your next level. It stops now. Resetting your life begins with a simple, yet powerful decision: choosing yourself. So many of us go through life letting the world dictate our pace, letting obligations, expectations, and other people's opinions steer our path. We wake up every day, react to situations, and carry baggage that isn't even ours. We carry mistakes from the past, regrets from moments we can't change, and worries about the future that may never happen. And while we do all this, we forget that our life, our energy, and our happiness are ours to manage. Choosing to reset is saying to yourself, I matter. My dreams matter. My growth matters. It's a declaration that your life isn't just a series of days to survive. It's a canvas waiting for your intentional creation. When you decide to reset, you give yourself permission to step back, assess where you are, and make changes without guilt or hesitation. Resetting doesn't mean failure or giving up. It means wisdom, awareness, and courage. It means understanding that you are worth the effort it takes to start over, to clean your space, your mind, and your heart, so you can operate from a place of clarity instead of chaos. Mental and emotional clutter is one of the biggest obstacles to growth. The mind is a battlefield, constantly bombarded by doubt, fear, negative self-talk, and endless distractions. If you never clear the debris, you can never focus on what truly matters. When you reset, you begin by identifying what's weighing you down. This could be toxic relationships that drain your energy instead of building you up. It could be old habits that no longer serve your goals, habits you cling to simply because they are familiar. It could be resentments, grudges, or regrets that you replay in your mind, convincing yourself they define you. When you recognize these sources of clutter, you start to make intentional decisions about what to keep and what to release. You learn to forgive yourself for mistakes, forgive others for wrongs, and stop carrying unnecessary weight. This clearing process isn't just mental, it's emotional. Every time you let go of a negative thought or habit, you make space for something positive, something life-affirming, and something aligned with your purpose. Resetting also means setting boundaries and reclaiming your energy. Often, we allow people and situations to take more than we are willing to give because we've never stopped to assert our worth. Resetting teaches you that saying no is not selfish. It's essential. It's a tool for preserving your peace, your focus, and your capacity to thrive. Choosing yourself might mean leaving situations that are comfortable but not fulfilling, stepping away from people who gossip, criticize, or hold you back, and prioritizing activities that fuel your mind, body, and spirit. When you do this, you create a life that is aligned with your values instead of one dictated by external pressures. A reset also requires reflection. You have to look at your habits, routines, and choices with honesty. This is uncomfortable for many people because it requires accountability. But accountability is not punishment, it's empowerment. When you are honest with yourself, you can see patterns that no longer serve you. Maybe you've been procrastinating because you fear failure. Maybe you've been overcommitting because you fear letting others down. Maybe you've been neglecting your health, your finances, or your personal growth because you've been too distracted by trivial matters. Resetting gives you the chance to analyze these patterns and decide what to change. It gives you the opportunity to replace passive habits with intentional ones, confusion with clarity, and fear with courage. Choosing yourself also means giving yourself permission to dream again. Often, we stop pursuing goals because life got messy, responsibilities piled up, or fear whispered that we're not good enough. Resetting is telling yourself, it's not too late. I am capable. I can pursue what I want with focus, discipline, and faith. It's reconnecting with your passions, your purpose, and your vision for the future. The clarity gained from clearing clutter allows you to see the opportunities around you that you might have ignored while weighed down by noise. It gives you energy, creativity, and momentum to take decisive action. When you reset, you begin a cycle of renewal that touches every aspect of your life. Your mind becomes sharper, your emotions more stable, your relationships more intentional, and your energy more focused. Resetting is not a one-time event, it's a mindset. It's a daily practice of choosing what serves you and letting go of what doesn't. It's choosing yourself every single day, and when you do, the possibilities are endless. You no longer live a life dictated by chaos, distraction, or obligation. You live a life directed by clarity, purpose, and empowerment. Resetting is the first, bold step toward the life you deserve, the goals you've dreamed of, and the version of yourself you've been waiting to become. Restarting your life is not a decision for the faint-hearted. It requires courage, commitment, and the willingness to take bold action. Many people want change, but very few are willing to face the discomfort that comes with starting over. Restarting is more than a mental idea. It's a deliberate choice to step into the unknown, leave behind what isn't working, and create a new path forward. The truth is, life is full of setbacks, mistakes, and failures. Some of us carry these experiences like heavy chains, believing that one misstep defines our future. But the reality is that failures are not walls. They are lessons, signposts pointing toward growth, and opportunities waiting to be recognized. Restarting is the moment when you choose to see your past not as a burden, but as a foundation upon which to build something stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Courage is at the heart of restarting. It takes courage to admit that something in your life needs to change. It takes courage to say, I can do better. I will do better. I deserve better. And it takes courage to step out when the familiar feels safe, even if that familiarity has been holding you back. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's taking action despite the fear, moving forward even when the path is uncertain, and trusting that your effort will lead to growth. Every successful person has faced moments where the next step seemed risky, and yet they pressed forward because they understood that stagnation is a far greater threat than failure. When you restart, you embrace courage as your companion, knowing that the discomfort you feel today is the fuel for your transformation tomorrow. Restarting also demands action. Thinking about change is easy. Talking about your dreams is easy. But action is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Restarting is about doing the work. Even if it's uncomfortable, it's about setting goals, making plans, and taking small steps consistently towards something greater. Action turns intention into results, and without it, courage alone is wasted. You may have to leave old habits behind, learn new skills, or confront truths about yourself that are difficult to face. This is not a one-time effort. It is a series of choices, repeated daily, that move you closer to the life you envision. Restarting requires discipline, the kind of discipline that doesn't quit when progress seems slow, when obstacles appear, or when others doubt you. One of the most important aspects of restarting is learning from past failures. Every mistake, setback, or loss contains a lesson if you are willing to see it. Some of us treat failure like a scarlet letter, something to hide and regret, but failure is actually a teacher, a guide, and a mirror showing us what needs to change. When you restart, you examine your past experiences honestly, identifying patterns that didn't serve you and decisions that led to undesirable outcomes. By analyzing these experiences without judgment, you extract wisdom that allows you to make better choices in the future. Restarting is about transforming regret into insight, shame into motivation, and disappointment into determination. It's about saying, I won't be defined by what went wrong. I will be defined by how I rise from it. Restarting also means leaving behind fear and self-doubt. Too many people delay action because they worry about failure or judgment. But restarting requires you to confront these fears head-on and refuse to let them control your future. Every great achievement begins with a single step taken in faith, often in spite of fear. Restarting is your chance to redefine your story, to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you have ever imagined. It is an act of self-respect, self-love, and courage combined. The moment you restart, you are sending a clear message to yourself and the world. You refuse to stay stuck, and you will not allow the past to dictate your destiny. Restarting is also contagious. When you see someone take the brave step to reset and restart their life, it inspires others to do the same. Your courage and action become a beacon for those around you, demonstrating that change is possible at any stage of life. The energy that comes from embracing a fresh start motivates you to push further, to dream bigger, and to act with more intentionality. Every restart is a declaration that growth is worth the discomfort, that life is meant to be lived fully, and that nothing, no failure, no fear, no mistake, can keep you from moving forward when you are committed to taking action. In the end, restarting is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It is proof that you are willing to rise above the past, learn from your experiences, and step boldly into a future that reflects your true potential. Every restart requires courage. Every restart requires action. And every restart turns lessons into stepping stones for your greatest achievements. When you choose to restart, you are not beginning at zero. You are beginning with wisdom, experience, and a renewed sense of purpose. The moment you embrace this mindset, you realize that the power to create the life you desire has always been within you, waiting for the courage to act. Refocusing is one of the most powerful decisions you can make in your life, yet it's also one of the most overlooked. Many people spend years running in every direction, chasing everything that seems important in the moment, but in reality they are scattered, distracted, and drained. Refocusing is the act of intentionally directing your energy, attention, and resources toward what truly matters, toward the things that create lasting impact, fulfillment, and growth. Life is full of noise, endless tasks, and demands from every corner. If you never pause to realign your priorities, you will continue to expend energy on things that offer little to no return, leaving your potential untapped and your goals unfulfilled. Refocusing is not just about productivity, it's about clarity, purpose, and making deliberate choices that move you closer to the life you've always envisioned. It's saying no to distractions so you can say yes to what matters most. The first step to refocusing is understanding your priorities. Many people allow circumstances or other people to determine what they spend their time on rather than consciously deciding for themselves. This is why so many feel overwhelmed or unaccomplished at the end of the day. Refocusing requires you to identify what is most important in your life, your goals, your passions, your purpose, and your vision. Once you know what matters, you can align your actions with these priorities. Every choice you make should be measured against the question, does this move me closer to my goal? Or is it a distraction? This is a daily practice, a constant awareness of where your energy goes, because small, consistent actions on the right priorities compound into extraordinary results over time. Refocusing also requires discipline. It's easy to get caught up in busy work, in doing things that look important but don't truly matter. Many people spend their days answering emails, scrolling social media, attending meetings that could have been an email, or running errands that are urgent but not essential. While these tasks may feel productive, they rarely move the needle toward your bigger goals. Discipline is the ability to resist the temptation of the immediate and trivial, and instead invest in what will yield meaningful long-term results. It is choosing to wake up early to work on your dreams, even when you could sleep in. It is saying no to time-wasting activities, even when others expect you to participate. Discipline is the muscle that keeps your focus sharp and your energy aligned with your purpose. Another critical element of refocusing is clarity of vision. If you don't know where you are going, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you may be running in circles. Refocusing means constantly checking your path against your ultimate goals and asking yourself if your current actions are aligned with that vision. It requires removing mental clutter, those doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs that cloud judgment and waste energy. When your mind is clear, your focus becomes sharper, your decisions become better, and your energy is spent on meaningful work instead of scattered effort. This clarity turns every day into a deliberate step forward, instead of a random series of actions that may or may not matter. Refocusing also demands letting go of what no longer serves you. In order to make room for growth and achievement, you must release habits, relationships, and activities that drain your time and energy. This is not easy. Many people cling to comfort zones or familiar patterns even when they hold them back. Refocusing requires courage to make hard choices, cutting ties with negativity, stepping away from distractions, and prioritizing the relationships and activities that align with your goals. By letting go of what is unnecessary, You create space for what is essential, allowing your energy to flow toward meaningful results. When you commit to refocusing, you notice immediate changes in your life. Productivity increases because your energy is spent wisely. Confidence grows because your decisions are intentional rather than reactive. Stress decreases because you are no longer juggling a million unimportant tasks. Most importantly, results start to manifest in ways that are tangible and fulfilling. Refocusing allows you to measure your progress against your true priorities, rather than being lost in a haze of business. Your time becomes a powerful tool, your actions become more strategic, and your life starts moving in the direction you've always wanted. Ultimately, refocusing is about reclaiming your life from distraction and chaos. It's about living intentionally and purposefully, putting your energy where it counts, and refusing to settle for anything less than meaningful results. The world will always try to pull you in multiple directions, but when you refocus on what matters most, you become unstoppable. You operate from a position of strength, clarity, and purpose, and everything you do begins to align with your vision. Refocusing is not a one-time decision. It is a daily choice, a mindset, and a practice. And when you make that choice consistently, you realize the extraordinary truth. The more you focus on what truly matters, the more extraordinary your results become, and the closer you come to living the life you were meant to live. Consistency is one of the most underrated secrets to achieving real success, yet it is often overlooked in favor of chasing perfection. Many people delay action, waiting for the perfect moment, to start a perfect plan, to fall into place, or the perfect version of themselves to appear. But life doesn't wait for perfection. Opportunities don't pause until you feel fully ready. Waiting for perfection is the easiest way to stay stuck, watching your dreams drift further away while life passes by. True progress comes not from flawless execution, but from consistent effort, repeated action, and persistent dedication over time. Consistency compounds, just like interest in a bank account. Small, steady steps may feel insignificant at first, but over weeks, months, and years, they produce results far beyond what sporadic bursts of perfect effort could achieve. Understanding the power of consistency is a game changer because it teaches us that showing up every day, even imperfectly, is what separates ordinary people from extraordinary achievers. Consistency requires discipline and commitment. It is the willingness to take action when you don't feel motivated, when obstacles arise, and when results aren't immediate. Many people give up too soon because they expect instant success or flawless outcomes. They believe that if they can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. But life doesn't reward perfection, it rewards persistence. Each day you show up, each time you put in the work, you are building momentum. Momentum is powerful because once it starts, it makes the next step easier, the next challenge more manageable, and the next achievement more attainable. Consistency turns ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes, and it turns effort into results that last. One of the key aspects of consistency is focusing on progress, not perfection. Perfection is an illusion. No one starts at the top, and no one gets it right every time. Mistakes, failures, and setbacks are part of the journey, not reasons to quit. When you are consistent, you accept that progress is made one step at a time. You celebrate small victories, learn from mistakes, and adjust your approach as needed, all while continuing to move forward. Each action, no matter how small or imperfect, contributes to the larger goal. Over time, these small actions accumulate, creating momentum that carries you towards success faster than waiting for everything to be perfect ever could. Consistency also builds trust, both with yourself and with others. When you consistently show up for your goals, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, capable, and committed. This strengthens your confidence and reinforces the belief that you can handle challenges and overcome obstacles. Others notice consistency as well. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or in your personal projects, people respect those who are dependable and persistent. Consistency creates credibility, establishes authority, and opens doors to opportunities that only those who persist can access. It's not talent alone that propels people forward. It's the consistent effort to show up and deliver every day. Another crucial element of consistency is building habits. Habits are the backbone of sustained action. When you consistently perform positive actions, They eventually become automatic, requiring less mental energy and willpower. This is why consistency in daily routines, like exercising, learning, planning, or practicing a skill, leads to extraordinary results over time. You don't have to rely on motivation, luck, or inspiration every day. You simply rely on the habits you've built. Habits are the silent engine behind consistency, allowing you to achieve more than you ever thought possible because your actions become almost inevitable once the pattern is established. Consistency also teaches patience. Real success is rarely immediate, and it often takes longer than we anticipate. But when you commit to consistent action, you develop resilience, endurance, and the understanding that long-term results are built through steady effort, not shortcuts. Each day you commit, each step you take, and each challenge you overcome reinforces your ability to persevere. This resilience compounds over time, making it easier to face bigger challenges, tackle harder goals, and maintain progress when the journey gets tough. Ultimately, consistency over perfection is the key to momentum. Perfection can paralyze, while consistency liberates. Consistent action generates results, builds confidence, develops habits, and creates a trajectory towards success. It allows you to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles, the distractions, or the fears that try to slow you down. Every day you choose to show up, even imperfectly, you are investing in your future. Every repeated action compounds, creating a chain of progress that cannot be broken. And once momentum is in motion, success becomes inevitable. When you fully embrace consistency, you realize that perfection was never the goal, it was the excuse. Showing up every day, putting in the work, learning from mistakes, and staying committed is what transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary achievements. Consistency is not glamorous, it is not instant, and it is not always easy, but it is the most powerful weapon you have in creating a life of accomplishment, growth, and lasting success. The small, steady steps you take today are the foundation for the breakthroughs you will celebrate tomorrow, and it all begins with the choice to be consistent. No matter what, change and discomfort are two of the most misunderstood concepts in life. Most people run from them, avoid them, and resist them at every turn. They want comfort, familiarity, and predictability because it feels safe. But the truth is, growth and transformation never come from comfort zones. Real progress, lasting achievement, and personal evolution happen when we embrace change and step willingly into discomfort. Change challenges our habits, pushes us into the unknown, and forces us to adapt. Discomfort tests our resilience, patience, and courage. Together, they are powerful catalysts that take ordinary people and help them become extraordinary. Understanding this is the first step toward living a life that is bigger, bolder, and more aligned